Okay, so here we are, reversed into a parking space in the Joondalup Licensing Centre car park, about to take off for our driving test. Now the first thing that you'll notice here from our side cameras is that we're parked next to some large vehicles. A lot of the vehicles on the road these days are large SUVs and four-wheel drives, and they're very hard to see past. So when you park in the car park, don't park in a parking space like this where you have large vehicles, particularly to your right hand side, because when you drive out of this parking spot you'll have trouble seeing what's coming from your right. Okay, so we're about to take off now at the start of our driving test. Into drive, indicator on to say which way we're going, because there is a decision to make here, left, right or straight. And away we go, looking very carefully to our right and to our left as we drive out. And doing a sensible car park speed out of the car park. Just indicating right here, and very important that you indicate left here so that people coming into the car park know that you're turning left and not going straight. Then we'll head out to the first difficult aspect of the test, which is the stop sign at the exit to the car park. So what we need to do is come up here as close as possible to the white line without going over it. Then look both ways, and using our knowledge of the road rules, we go if we can. Now in that case there were no vehicles coming from our right and left, and the only vehicle coming towards us was a fair way away, and it was coming up towards the stop sign. So because they were a long way away and coming up slowly, we could reasonably assume that they were going to stop. We'll turn left here at the roundabout. That car coming from our right is a fair distance away, so we got through quite easily. And then we're going to turn left at this street down here. Now there's a solid line on the road here, but we can cut this line if it makes our path around the corner more optimal, which it does. And then heading up this street, this is Reid Promenade in Joondalup, coming up to the intersection of Davidson Terrace. Now this is a very dangerous intersection, but it has a give way sign rather than a stop sign. We must come up here at a very, very slow speed so that we can see what's coming from our right and from our left. Again, checking right and checking left. It's clear, so we go. Now a lot of people fail at that intersection because they come up there without paying due caution to the fact that it's a minor road crossing a busy road, and it's a give way sign. Give way says you don't necessarily have to stop, but you certainly have to make sure that it's safe. Now down here there's an arrow on the road. We still need to indicate left, because the pedestrians might not know where you're going. Okay, here we need to check to our right. We can see a car coming and another one about to enter the road as well. And then we check forward for pedestrians who might be crossing this road. Up ahead we're turning right, so we follow the curb into this turning lane. We follow nice and closely, okay? If we follow closely, then we don't leave room for another vehicle to get through there on the right, and we don't need a blind spot check in that case. Coming up here, there's no arrows, so the cars coming towards us have the same colour light. Okay, we wait till it's clear and we go around. As we drive down here, it's always busy and people are always on their mobile phones, so we don't drive at 50 down that street, we drive it more like 35. But it depends on the volume of traffic and the volume of pedestrians. When we get around this corner, the road opens up a bit and you can get up to the proper speed limit, which is 50. Now we're going to turn right into this street here, Reid Promenade. We make sure that we turn into the correct side of the road, which is way over here. You can see the solid line in the middle of the road here. Okay, the road surface is made up of concrete, brick pavers and bitumen. But you must drive on your half of the road, which is half brick pavers, half bitumen, just so that people can come past in the other direction. But you must also make sure that you clear the parked cars by 1.5 meters, just in case they open a door. Okay, coming up here, we're turning left. We must turn left, but we also have to check for pedestrians crossing in front of us who would have right of way. Now coming down here, I want to turn left, We've got this parking area on our left, we've got a bike lane on our left. We indicate left, we do a blind spot check. We must do that blind spot check because we're moving over basically 2 lanes. This lane we're in now and the bike lane next to us. Okay, there's the green arrow for turning left. Now turning left on this turning lane, we just do a quick blind spot check here. We come down here to the give way line and we check for cars coming around from the traffic lights opposite us. We also check for vehicles coming down the road at our right shoulder. You probably won't get vehicles coming from both those places at once because of the traffic lights, but it could be one or the other. Okay, coming up to these traffic lights, we've gone from 1 lane to 2 lanes. What this means is that on the other side of the traffic lights is going to go from 2 lanes to 1 lane, so there will be a merge point when we get past the traffic lights on the other side. So because we're travelling in a straight line while we're merging, we don't need to indicate. But when we get across this intersection, so we check right, we check left on the way across. When we get across this intersection here, we check our mirrors and we check our blind spot. Very important that you check your blind spot. So whenever you're going through a merge area, it doesn't matter whether you're merging or bearing away from the traffic, maybe turning right or turning left in a turning lane, the fact that you're going through a merge area means that you must do a blind spot check regardless. Okay, coming up to this dangerous intersection again. It's got a give way sign, but it's an extremely dangerous intersection. You look right, you look left. If it's clear, you go. But you've got to take into account the traffic opposite you at the give way sign on the other side. So you must know your right of way rules for those vehicles as well. Now coming down to this roundabout, we're going to turn right. We don't indicate yet because we're going past a laneway there. Now we indicate right. So I want to turn right here and I want to turn left at the end of the next street. So we do that by staying in our lane the whole way through this 2-lane roundabout. We exit in our lane. We exit the roundabout completely, turn the indicator off, and now we do a proper lane change. Check your mirrors, indicate, and check your blind spot, and then move across smoothly. Okay, at this intersection we're going to turn left. Look up the street. Yeah, there's a vehicle coming, but it's a long way away. It's at least 7 seconds away, so we could go. Now the speed limit here is still the default speed limit of 50. We can see 60 signs in front of us, but they don't apply until we get to them because they're on both sides of the road. Now we're in a 60 zone, so we can speed up.